We face reality here. It was an ugly night for the Angelenos in the playoffs last night. The Galaxy extend their best player, and Dodger players like to call Dave Roberts Doc when they really should be calling him Captain Hook. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So we are back in the sanctum sanctorum of LA sports on April 23rd, 2024. And if you like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button, clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, we always try and expand and look at the scoreboard when our teams are in the playoffs. And last night, holy crap. Jamal Murray sank a 15-foot buzzer beater, and the Lakers blew a 20-point lead. Denver 101, Lakers 99. The Nuggets now lead the best-of-7 series 2-0. Anthony Davis did score 32 points. D'Angelo Russell also rebounded from a disastrous Game 1 with 23. And LeBron also added more than 20 as well. But once again, certain things stood out. Only one player on the Lakers bench scored. That's 2 games in a row. And that makes me wonder if the starting 5 is simply wilting on the court when the fourth quarter comes around. And again, as I said up top, we don't sugarcoat things. We face reality here. You blow a 20-point lead. You have lost 10 consecutive times to another team. That loss last night could be interpreted in any number of ways in terms of the mentality about the team. You could easily say, you know what? That effort kicks the hell out of Denver at our gym. We could go home, tie this series, make it a best of 3. Well, that's one way of looking at it. And the other way is, good God, no matter what we do, we can't beat this team. It could go either way. This could be the thing that introduces a surefire sweep, or it could anger the Lakers just enough to where they tie the series, make it a best of 3, see what they can do to try to steal one on the road. Now, we know LeBron James is a mentally tough fellow. We don't know necessarily about how mentally tough the rest of the roster is. The series is shifting to LA with Game 3 on Thursday. But again, we could try to break this down. We could try to X and O. It doesn't matter what we X and O. They lost a 20-point lead, and they did not trust their bench. Edmonton 7, Kings 4 in the first round of the Stanley Cup Finals. This game was not nearly as close as the score might suggest. In other words, I would say there's no difference between 7-4 and 7-2. Because we've been talking about this series for the last few days, how the LA Kings play a 1-3-1 like a zone, a defensive structure that is designed to limit shots, that is designed to keep players such as a Connor McDavid from gaining speed in the neutral zone. The Kings accomplished none of that last night. 0. I never saw the 1-3-1, period, because the Oilers had all the speed that they wanted. They had all the shots that they could ever dream for. They peppered Cam Talbot with 45 bleeping shots. Yes, tough night for Talbot, but nobody in the locker room, including the coach, is holding him even remotely responsible. At the end of the game, you could see Drew Doughty barking at his own teammates on the bench. Not Talbot. That was a non-Kings performance. As for McDavid, remember, this alignment is designed to stop McDavid. McDavid assisted on 5 goals. 5. He's never had a 5-point game in the playoffs before. Now, as for the Kings themselves, Adrian Kempe had a goal and an assist. Game 2 is on Wednesday. The Kings know absolutely what they have to do. They did not even try to implement their own system in last night's game. Meanwhile, today, Dallas is at the Clippers at 7. It's Game 2 of their first round in the NBA playoffs. LA leads the series 1-0. By the way, Dylan Hernandez of the LA Times wrote this column saying that, quote, missing Kawhi Leonard almost cost the Clippers in Game 1, unquote. No, it didn't. That didn't have anything to do with anything. The Clippers cruised in game one. Now, Leonard practiced on Monday, and the Clippers are playing coy about it again. I'm not playing this game. When it comes to Kawhi Leonard, either poop or get off the pot. Stop trying to make a drama where it's not there. And the Dodgers are at Washington at 3:45. James Paxton is 2-0 with a 2.81 ERA. Patrick Corbin 0-3 with an 8.06 ERA. But what do you say we get to the news? The Athletic is reporting that as the MLS transfer window closed, the Galaxy and midfielder Ricky Puig have agreed on a new contract. The previous deal, which is for one of the 3 designated player spots that the team is allowed to have, that deal was supposed to end in 2025. He was making $1.7 million on the previous deal. Now, we do not know the details of this one. The Galaxy are currently the highest scoring team in MLS, and although he does not lead the team in goals, Puig is clearly the team's best player. He is what you would call, in basketball terms, a facilitator. He leads the league in touches, 998 touches, and the season is barely a quarter old, which means that when the Galaxy get the ball, the very first thing they think of is get the ball to Puig so that he can set up a teammate for a scoring chance. Puig is integral to anything the LA Galaxy do. He may not be dominating statistically with goals. You pull that guy out of that lineup, the Galaxy are a completely different team, and everybody there knows it. But this doesn't mean that the dude is going to be retiring in Galaxy colors. Remember, the guy is 24. He came to LA from FC Barcelona's program. He's always had his sights set on returning to Europe. Basically, while he has not said one thing about not enjoying his time in LA, his time in LA is literally ticking away every moment. He is gaining international attention. Also, Belgian club Westerlo is finalizing a deal to sign a former Galaxy Academy player, Julian Palacios. The teenager currently plays for North Carolina FC in the USL, but he did help the Galaxy's MLS Next Pro team win a cup last year. He scored 6 goals in that tournament. Have you ever thought to yourself, damn, Dave Roberts has a quick hook? Well, you're not mistaken. We have the numbers to back it up. Here's a couple of examples. The Dodgers bullpen has pitched 102 1/3 innings so far this year. It's the most in the major leagues, and it's not even close. They needed their bullpen to catch a break so bad that Tyler Glasnow became the first starter in almost 2 years to complete 8 scoreless innings when they defeated the Mets on Sunday. Now, some Dodger stats make you do a double take. Roberts told The Athletic that he's been trying to build up the starter's tolerance for a workload, and also that the pitchers simply at this point aren't efficient with their pitches. In other words, they're not throwing enough strikes. These numbers might give you a glimpse as to why the Dodgers tend to putter around 500 at the beginning of the season. Because this isn't the first time that they've done that. And then everybody starts panicking. A starting rotation that Roberts thinks needs to build stamina, plus an ill-defined bullpen. In other words, the roles haven't been settled. Now, once these things get more pronounced, as they always do, then the Dodgers boat race the NL West. But if you're looking for a reason why the Dodgers aren't just dominating everything they see, why they're not just rampaging through baseball like some medieval army, that would be it. Dodgers hitters, meanwhile, simply are not making contact. They have struck out the most times of anybody in the game, 221. We've been talking about how the lineup, after the top 3 of Ohtani, Freeman, and Betts, how it basically after that top 3 looks like Thelma and Louise driving off the cliff. Slots 5 through 9 in the lineup have struck out 30.7% of the time when they get to the plate. Almost a third. Moreover, when the Dodgers get a runner in scoring position, the entire lineup strikes out 25.7% of the time. So, if it matters, we statistically have a couple of reasons as to why the Dodgers are puttering around 500. Whether or not they can solve it, I would put money on, yeah, they can. Greedy Vance is a lovely name for a defensive back, I must say. He will be transferring to USC from Florida State. He is the first addition to the Trojans program in the spring portal. He is already projected to start, and this is a secondary that made big strides throughout the spring practice. They were the show stealers of the spring football game over the weekend. Vance is projected to start as a nickel back. And you remember, the Trojans this year are always going to be playing nickel. They have a 4-2-5 alignment. So he's not just a nickel sub. He's part of the starting group. USC basketball, meanwhile, has added Will Conroy as an assistant coach. He spent 9 years as an associate head coach for the University of Washington. Conroy played in the NBA for 4 teams. He also interviewed for the Huskies' vacant head coaching position about a month ago, but I guess he got the vibe that it wasn't his. So if it's going to some other poor schlep, you got to figure this dude is looking for a gig. So he lands over at Heritage Hall. Defensive lineman Jay Toya had a change of heart about leaving UCLA football in the transfer portal. He decided last night, he goes to social media, starts praising everything about UCLA, how he can't wait to come back and finish what he started. The upshot is this: it salvages their defensive front, because without him, it completely falls to pieces. They've already lost 5 edge rushers, including 3 of them that went to the NFL draft. Toya is the only guy on that line that would provide any sort of stability. And speaking of former defensive UCLA linemen, there is precious little that I can tell you in the lead up to this week's NFL draft. If you Google the Rams or if you Google the Chargers, every headline is shocking development in our latest mock draft. Shocking in a mock draft? It's freaking make-believe. What's shocking is that you idiots would think anybody takes mock drafts seriously. Not you, my viewer, you, the people making the damn mock draft. Look, I see shocking development in a mock draft, and I wonder, where is that drunk chick on the plane when you need her the most, right? That mother bleeping mock draft is not real. Exactly, it isn't real. There's one thing that I can tell you, though, that is a fact. Former UCLA edge rusher Gabriel Murphy is trying to parlay his terrific workouts at the NFL Combine into a job. He has met with a number of teams to try to secure something in the draft. He's talked with Minnesota, Houston, New England, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis. It's kind of amusing to see the LA Times describe Cooper Kupp as old. He's entering his 8th season. He's 31. It's not like he's calling up hymns asking for ED pills. It's not like he's also asking, what do I do about this bald spot? 31 is not old. Kupp is, he is highly motivated to validate, though, that 3-year contract for the $75 million guarantee that he signed a couple of years ago. Cooper Kupp's salary cap number this year is almost $30 million. Second on the team to Matthew Stafford's $49.5 million. So yeah, you're 31, you're getting $75 million guaranteed. You kind of want to still validate that you're the man out there, that you're still the guy that can win the Triple Crown in receiving stats. So yeah, they're talking about his off-season workouts, how he's helping his teammates. The article described a continuing bond developing between Kupp and Puka Nacua. Kupp wanted to show that he could still hang with the youngsters, again being 31. So he invited Nakua, I'm sorry, stuttering this morning. He invited Nakua over to his house for workouts. Nakua couldn't hang with the old man. Said Nakua, quote, "I think I threw up every day of the week. He wasn't a fan of that because it was on his lawn and stuff," unquote. Cup did agree that his landscaping bill is about to go up to Nakua and his weak stomach. But dude, as we've mentioned, 75 mil. I think you have it covered. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Do you still have confidence in either the Lakers or the Kings after that disastrous faceplant for both of them last night? And for that matter, how thrilled are you as a Galaxy fan, knowing that Ricky Puig is still going to be here for a couple of years longer? And if you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corta El Queso production. Take care.